Well, actually, that's probably a really great tip. Tips to inspire calmness and chaos. We're kicking into it as um, tribe.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just as we talk about tribe, and when I say tribe, a tribe is having the right people around you. Now, when I say that, I don't necessarily mean all the pom-pom people like, yay, Moira, you're doing so well. I'm so proud of you. Fantastic, Moira. That's great. Pom, 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 which is cheerleading pom-pom.
Yep.
But also the, hey, Moira, I love what you're doing lately. Maybe you could do this, or maybe you could cut that back from a 10-week program to a 9-week program because you get to the right tribe are those who actually can be seen as challenging to you, but not to burn out, but actually more question some stuff and make you look and go, yeah, this feels good.
Debz is a stressologist. She will stretch your mindset to think bigger than you've ever thought before, with follow-through techniques that are realistic and achievable to blow any fear out of your mind. Moira is a mindset cultivator. She will help you align your personal trinity of self-trust, inner awareness, and self-confidence so that you discover and share your unique gifts and purpose. Together, their goal with these conversations is to share how our inclinations do not always work in our best interest and to provide the knowledge to leverage the gifts that already exist within each one of us. Their desire is to help you learn how to access the habits and behaviors that will lead to positive change and your best quality of life. Welcome to your deliciously motivated mindset.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome to our deliciously motivated, I've got to get this out, deliciously motivated mindset conversation.
Huh.
Yeah, that's it. With Debz, that would be me, and Moira, that
That
would
would be
be
me.
her. both on complete different sides of the world as we come and share our knowledge and wisdom on tips to inspire calmness and chaos. It's
Two
actually
ends of a spectrum.
that's calmness and chaos. If you didn't pick that up, what that was. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Ooh, we've got a goodie for us today.
Mm-hmm.
This is a great one. Grab your pen and paper and your note-taking device, people, because we're going to kick this off right now. But as we kick it off, we're going to welcome those who have been with us before. Thank you for coming back. Thank you for inspiring yourself to come along and learn some stuff that you may not know.
Mm-hmm.
And welcome to those people who haven't been before.
Yeah.
Who are
Welcome,
just like,
welcome.
oh, I've found you. Oh, so hold on tight. With the very first thing we do at every podcast is we do a PEMS check-in. And a PEMS is PEMS. P for physical, E for emotional, I have to spell it out now, M for mindset, mental, and S for spiritual. Think about that. And S for
Yes.
spiritual. PEMS, PEMS. And this emotional, this check-in on your PEMS is literally just to check in where you're feeling physically, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually. If you're a 10, you're at the
You're
chaos
in
end.
that chaos, yeah. Yeah.
You're down there. You're down there. Or beyond 10. We've had moments of being beyond 10 more than once in our lives.
Oh, yes.
But there's also the 0, and the 0 is where you literally are poised and
Zen out.
completely zen, and you're calm.
Mm-hmm.
Now, a calmness can be a 2 or a 3 as well, but
Mm-hmm.
we're talking 0 and 10. And so all you're going to do now is just rate yourself. What am I? Where do I sit? I'm a 3, I'm a 5, I'm a 9, I'm a 10, I'm a 14, whatever it is, just write that number down, because our intention is to bring you closer to
The
the
0.
zen 0.
Mm-hmm.
Closer to that beautiful place. Just write that down, and now we're going to kick it off. That's it. Oh, no, we're not. We're going to ask ourselves, what are we?
Yeah, because we have to rate ourselves.
Yeah, we're going to rate ourselves as well. Make sure
And then
we share.
we all rate ourselves again at the very end also.
Perfect. So, Moira, I've got my pen and paper here. What number are you?
I'm a 3. How about
Ooh.
you?
Oh, I'm a
Mhm.
2. I'm a 2. I don't think I've heard you being a 3 for a long time.
I know. Me neither. But
Went,
I
well,
was like, maybe I'm a 2. No, I'm 3.
yeah.
But it's like you said, there's a calmness about it, but there's just a lot going on,
Isn't
and there's things going on in my head, and
yeah.
that's
Little
why, yeah,
little bumps under there, under there, under there, and oh, there's another
yeah,
bump.
yeah,
There's another one. Yeah. So I don't think you've been a 3 since last year.
maybe
I'm
not.
literally, I'm
I,
literally going, oh, there we go. There we
there we
uh,
go.
Moira's mastered the calmness and chaos. Actually, I don't even know if I've been a 3 for a while either.
No, not for a while. Well, you know what? So listeners, sometimes we might, both of us might be higher than a 3 when before we hit record, and
Oh,
then we sit and visit and talk ourselves through things and hold space for one another. And so oftentimes by the time we get here pressing record to speak with you lovely peoples, we
mm.
actually have often shifted state, right?
I was just thinking, I remember there was one time I didn't even know if I was going to get to record. I was a little bit angry, a little bit. And then, yeah, I remember that actually. You're right, because we do talk for, half an hour or longer.
Yep, yep. It's just
Before
how
we
it goes.
So, well, actually, that's probably a really great tip. Tips to inspire calmness and chaos. We're kicking into it is tribe.
Yeah, yeah.
Just as we talk about tribe, and when I say tribe, a tribe is having the right people around you. Now, when I say that, I don't necessarily mean all the pom-pom people like, yay, Moira, you're doing so well. I'm so proud of you. Fantastic, Moira. That's great. Pom, 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 which is cheerleading pom-pom.
Yep.
But also the, hey, Moira, I love what you're doing lately. Maybe you could do this, or maybe you could cut that back from a 10-week program to a 9-week program because you get to the, the right tribe are those who actually can be seen as challenging to you, but not to burn out, but actually more question some stuff and make you look and go, yeah, this feels good. So having the right tribe, those who lift you up when you're down, but also don't pop your bubble when you're doing stuff. That makes sense. How would you describe it?
It does. I think, and I think it's really important to know your people, and because sometimes the tribe or the person that you need the most is the one that's actually going to just sit and listen while you express or have as a sounding board the ideas. So having somebody who is capable of just holding space for you as opposed to interjecting, oh, this is what you got to do and this is what you don't do, and that's right. So
Problem
it's
solver, yeah.
yeah. So having the right tribe, I think, is essential, but it's also to know who is it you're going to go to, depending on where you're at. Where are you emotionally? Where are you mentally? Do you need somebody to sort of do the rah, 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 pick it up, you've got this, you can do this? Or do you need somebody that just goes, it's okay, these things are happening? And do you know what I mean? So it's like just having that felt sense of what's the right way.
Yeah, and I think also knowing that, when we talk about a tribe, knowing that I have both sides. I can be incredibly challenging, but I can be incredibly supporting. And I have both sides.
Yes,
So
as do I.
as we all do,
Mhm.
and definitely. So, sometimes I'm going to challenge people and sometimes I'm just going to listen.
Yeah.
But also just be aware, sometimes somebody might challenge you. They're still great at holding space. Sometimes they can just hold space if they need to. I just talked to a woman yesterday in our group, and bless her, she lost her shite. Let's put it that way. She lost her shite and she threw the eggs on the ground.
Oh no.
When she's telling me, okay, professional Deborah went, oh gosh, we've got a goodie here to deal with. The real Deborah went,
Oh
bet
no.
you that. Oh, bet the cats love that. How much up the wall did it go? It definitely breaks the energy. But the beautiful thing is that what I'm going to say about is her partner, who she's noticed has an opinion on everything and gets very agitated, and he goes to a 10. If something
Okay.
happens, he goes to a 10.
Right.
And I said to her, had you been asking the universe, even that morning, that I want to see the other side, the nurturing side of him. I want to see that. I just want him to just help me, but not be angry and crazy about it all. And she went, oh my gosh, I did. I said that as I lay in bed. I said, I want him to be I just want him to hold space. And I just, and she's these things. And she said, and I said, so what did he do when the eggs went? He just came and he said, are you all right, babe? I'll clean this up. You let me know if you want anything. And that's what he did. And he cleaned the walls because I went up the walls. Good old Deborah. But he did. And he just did that. And I said, well, you've asked for that. So we all have, I think I just want to say we all have both sides. And people can have that. So depending on the situation, depending on your PEMS of how you interact with things, just knowing that people can hold that energy and that, but also being aware what she asked for. I mean, that was, but she said her cats were very happy.
Sure. So that's actually, I would say that would be tip number 2 is be aware what you ask for. Always be aware, be mindful, be conscious of what are you asking for? What are you saying? Oh, wouldn't it be nice if, right?
But we do, and I want to say not a lot of people want to know that though.
Well,
but when people, well, do you want to know? Well, oh, I'm fine knowing. I'll be like, oh yeah. As soon as I said it to her, she started laughing. Yeah.
Well, this is the thing, because to me that's an empowering statement, that it's we are all such powerful creator beings, so we might as well own the creation and say, you know, if we say, oh, this always happens to me, oh yeah, sure, this is gonna fall apart or derail, well, you just asked for that, it's gonna show up.
Yeah.
So if you recognize that, oh hey, I created that, I called it in. But then the flip side is also like that, and in fact, I do that. If I say something like, oh, it's gonna fall apart, I'll go cancel, cancel, cancel.
I've done that, cancel, and then I don't even think I got to the third cancel. I start giggling. But it is that when you say, because often we say things to ourselves that we would never say to other people.
Oh, 100%.
But
Yeah.
when you hear that stuff, you're like, cancel. And it gets to that. But it is, be mindful of what you ask for. Is incredibly important. Yeah.
And so what's showing up? Is it calmness or chaos? Ask and request it. The next one, right on the heels of that, is I really encourage myself, you, all of us, to always acknowledge that we are always in the right place at the right time. And that no matter what chaotic situation may be going on around us, we have the capacity to evolve, to come through it, to deal with it. Otherwise, we wouldn't be there. So I don't know about you, but just that in itself can inspire calmness within. Because if you just put your hand on your heart and go, yep, there's this chaos, there's chaotic situation happening around me. But you stop and you put your hand on your heart and say, it's all in the right order. It's all, I've got this. It's all okay. It's in the flow. Whatever it is you need to do to just recognize you are in the right place at the right time. That actually helps, because all calmness starts directly within you.
So that's trust, isn't it?
Yeah. That's okay. So that's the tip after that.
Okay.
I think trust needs to be all of itself, because that one, that's like a mindset piece of I'm in the right place at the right time. So you're not going to listen to any crazy making discussion in your head that, oh my God, why is this happening? Or why me? Or right?
Even just saying I'm in the right place at the right time, even if you don't believe it when you say it, your body will believe it. But you can't say stuff, and you can't say, your body's going to hear it. I'm in the right place at the right time, or you're not going to receive a challenge if there's there's a solution to everything, like all those little things. But even if you don't believe it,
Mhm.
you can't lie to your body. Your body will hear it differently.
Right. But that's so to go more fully into this thing that I said about trust, that trust in my mind is that even if I can't see the resolution or the choice through, I know it's there because I have this implicit belief in myself that for every problem or challenge or situation, the resolution solution is already in existence. Just because I can't see it doesn't mean it doesn't exist. And then one step more from that is that I know I'll recognize it when it does show up, when it lands, when somebody says, "Oh, how about just do that?" Okay, thanks. There it is. Right?
Yeah. Yeah, totally. Totally. Trust is so important. We might as well just have the standard things we talk about
I
every,
know, because it weaves into almost every
and then we get to the end and we
conversation
go,
we have.
oh, we didn't say trust.
Yeah, we have some that are standard ones that kind of come in and we thread them into everything, right?
And then they just embed. You're like, oh, yeah, of course, of course. How did we not think about that?
Mhm.
Next tip I've got, and I trust that people are getting value out of this. Just want to say thank you again for listening.
Definitely.
Thank you for listening. This is perfect timing for you and for us. My next tip is I'm going to use the word pivot.
One of Deb's favorite words.
My pivots. And my pivot is knowing that every day is different. Now, we did our PEMS at the start, but knowing that you might be an 8 right now, but later in the day, you might be a 5. So, and then later in the day, something might happen and you come home and you're a 14. But just know that every day is different and nothing is set in concrete. So when I say pivot, just be flexible. Just go, okay, this is, the PEMS is not here permanently. Moira's not going to be a 3 forever.
No.
Right now, she's a 3. If I asked her now, has your 3 moved, Moira, already?
Of course it has.
Yeah, exactly. So, like exactly. If she'd said no, I would have gone, okay. But nothing is permanent. Nothing is permanent. I think that's really important to hear. And like, I've been like this for 3 years. No, you won't have been like this for 3 years. There will be moments of calmness in your chaos.
Definitely. Because it's that ups and downs, right?
Absolutely. So don't, even if you go, but I've been like this for 3 years, I've been in this mood. No, there'll be moments that'll brought you joy, looking at the sun, looking at the rain, looking at whatever. There's moments, or hearing, if you can't, or I don't know, but you're not gonna, Moira's not gonna stay a 3 for the rest of her life. And that's
Definitely
really important. Moira's like, heck no, don't label me a 3. The one time I'm a 3, Deborah keeps embedding it all through the podcast, but she's not going to stay like that forever. And that's the thing. And I guess that goes back to that last one, trust as well.
100%.
Be prepared to pivot.
But you know something, 2 pieces on what you were just saying about pivot. Actually, it's really funny. I've talked before on previous episodes where I like to choose a 1-word theme for every year that we're in.
Oh, yes, you do.
And so for the year 2024, which is we are, can't believe how far we are into this year.
Yeah, I know. When someone said to me, "Oh, we're 2 months off," what did they say? We're 2 months off half a year,
halfway
or so.
through. Yeah.
You're 7 months till Christmas. I'm like, oh, you can bugger off.
You
like,
can just shut up.
You can just you can pivot out of my life right now.
There you go.
Don't take me to an 8 by telling me it's that close to Christmas.
So my 1-word theme for 2024 is actually adaptability.
Oh,
And I just like that word anyways, but and that's what, when you were saying about pivot, it's like, yeah, that's kind of what I've been doing this calendar year.
Yeah. And it is. And yeah. So if you just have a look, people, at your past, you can see when you've been in a funk, you've stayed in that for a certain amount of time, and then you've shifted out. Like that's literally it. Yeah.
But the other part that came to my mind as you were talking about the pivot part, and you've shared this before, you know how you've said to if anything that we, and I say this myself, if we say anything that challenges a person, or they're listening to the things that we're talking about and they think, yeah, but I'm stuck, or I don't know how to shift out of this state, or I need help, that reach out to us, reach out to both of us, to one of us, or reach out to the person that you trust to help you navigate the choices. And the reason I'm saying that is, oftentimes, let's say you reached out because you were on the scale of 0 to 10, you were at a 15, and you reached out saying, oh my God,
Oh,
I
I can
need
feel that in my
help.
body.
But as soon as you reach out, even before you've had the conversation, your state has changed, because you've said, I matter enough to say, I need help. I need that resource. I need some support. So that's, I think, is a really important tip to inspire calmness, is even if it's just writing the intention, I'm going to ask for some support. I'm going to ask, then watch how you actually start to drop into a sense of calmness. Does that make sense?
100%. And I think when I think about that, I matter. One of the first levels of healing, as I say to people, is exactly what Moira just said. Acknowledge it.
Yeah.
So this thing is acknowledge it. Go, actually, you know what? I'm a 15. I'm a
Yeah.
15 now. Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, that explains why I'm moody with my children. That explains why I'm not inspired about my clients at the moment. That explains why my house is falling to chaos, or
Why I'm
what
getting
is.
so irritated at everything and everybody. Yeah.
And the moment you acknowledge, you're literally left with, oh, well, that makes sense. And then and then you go, I need help.
Yeah.
So there's the levels. As soon as you acknowledge that 15, I guarantee will move to a 14, even a 14. It will move. It will move close to the 0, because you've acknowledged it and you've said to the unit exactly what Moira said, I matter.
Yeah.
And then when you reach out to someone, it shifts again. So even that I'm a 15 and you've shifted to a 14, you've reached out to Deb and Moira, Moira and Deb, you've left with, we're now a 13, or we're now a 12.
Mhm.
And it's like, oh, okay.
Mhm.
Oh, okay. And it's just shifting that scenario, that story, whatever it is. So just those two things, acknowledging it, I matter, and
Yep.
doing something about it. That's it. And
Yep.
I love that Moira said reaching out to somebody, also somebody close to your circle, and that goes back to your tribe as well.
Yeah.
But if you're so fixated on an outcome you want, sometimes that tribe member will give you what you need in their, it's not what you want. Like, you want them to say that's the best thing ever, but sometimes they don't, and that's okay. But Moira and I are here. We're here. We have, what did we say the other day? The other day, everything's the other day. The other day, January. What did we say the other day about with us? I just had a mental block.
Oh, about how much experience we've had.
Yeah. How much did we say that was?
I
That's got to
think
be.
I think we said more than 50 years.
Yeah, over 50 years
between
or
us.
nearly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Knowing that.
Mhm.
Just, and that's actually in, like, if I go back to my whole childhood and go back to where I was mastering people's emotions right from high school, right from, that, but let's say being paid.
Right.
We
Right.
have over 50 years between us of being paid with our knowledge.
Yep.
And so why not use it?
Yeah,
We're here.
absolutely. Absolutely. Most definitely.
Yeah.
So from that tip, the one that I just wanted to kind of unpack a little bit more is, and this comes up oftentimes in my conversations with clients, is to make sure you're telling yourself the truth about what's going on. Because telling
Yeah.
yourself the truth means it's okay to say, I'm freaked out about this. I'm upset about that. I'm really pissed off about this. I am impatient because such and such not showed up or gone the way I wanted it to. And why I'm saying it's so important to tell yourself the truth is that sometimes we can get into a sense of, I'm a meditation teacher, so I need to be zen and calm and peaceful, but I'm not always that way. I need to tell myself the truth when I'm feeling discombobulated or upset or pissed off, because it will not leave until I tell it,
Mm.
acknowledge this is a moment of feeling this, right? So if you're feeling angry or upset or stuck or fill in the blank, it's about, and there's techniques that I've developed to actually help people realize that as soon as you get into telling yourself the truth, acknowledging what that emotional state is that you're in, it starts to ease because you've given it the honor, the respect, the acknowledgement that, yes, I needed to experience this. Does that make sense, Deb?
Yeah, totally. And that just backs up our ones before. And yeah. And I think as painful, and I'm going to say as painful as it can be in your mind, it's more painful
Yeah, to ignore it or stuff it down.
in that space. Yeah, exactly. More painful to do that than anything. I actually found a quote yesterday. I'm just going to quickly find it because we talked in our mentoring group. I quite like this quote. That's why I'm going to find it. And we talked about fear.
Mhm.
And it was just interesting to have that whole, here we go. I love this. Until you change your thinking, you will always recycle your experiences.
Until you change your thinking, you will
Will always
yeah.
recycle your experience. And I love that because it just, to acknowledge there's a problem, change is going to happen. So until you actually change your thing, because you can't get by in the same mindset. If you go back to your mindset when you were 10 years old, do you want to be that 10-year-old for the rest of your life? No. Do you want to be that same person? For me, do I want to be that same person at 25 or 26 when I had my daughter? Do I want to be that same person back then? No, actually, I think I was older than that. I don't know. But no, I don't. I don't want to be that same. So I'm changing my patterns by changing my world, changing my tribe, changing my energy. All these things we're giving you. So until you change your thinking, you will always recycle your experiences. And I'm going to add, and they get bigger.
Yeah, because they haven't been given the honor that they deserved.
Yeah, and I'm going to get Moira to explain one thing. I talk about the Nemo fish that comes along, but Moira does one. She explains it as the snow, the
Snowball.
ball. Yeah, the snowball
Snowball.
coming down the hill. I love the way you explain that.
About the snowball just becoming bigger and bigger and bigger until it totally engulfs you at the
Yeah, it
bottom of the
does.
slope. Yeah,
And
because it does gather more and more and more.
I add in, and it takes out skiers, and it takes out people, and it takes out trees. And it does get further down. So the key is going back to, that tip just before, tell yourself the truth.
Mhm.
Tell yourself the truth, acknowledge it, and just know that it's not it doesn't have to be painful. It's just what you're labeling things on.
Well, because it's so important not to shame or guilt yourself about something that you think you should not be feeling.
Oh, we've got so much of that already in our world. Well, let's just add another thing that we're shameful of.
I know. But hey, seeing as you shared a quote, it made me think I wanted to share this quote that I looked up earlier today, and it's all about the letting go idea.
Oh,
And this quote is actually by Tupac Shakur. I don't know if that's how you say his name. But he said, you can spend minutes, hours, days, weeks, or even months over analyzing a situation, trying to put the pieces together, justifying what could have or would have happened. Or you can just leave the pieces on the floor and move on. I know what my choice is.
oh my God.
Isn't that awesome?
Yeah, I'd like a link to that quote, so I'm gonna splash that. That's perfect. Or you
Isn't
can
it?
just walk away.
Just walk away. Just go, yep, there's all the pieces
Mhm.
on the floor. Don't need to.
My little chilies across my spidey senses, things across the back of my neck. That's perfect because that is that pivot, that trust, that
And coming into calmness is like, yeah, there's crap on the floor. Okay, off I go.
Yeah. Perfect. Oh, I love that. um
A quick wee message before we get back to this episode. You can get access to a special gift Moira and Debz have put together for you. Go to deliciouslymotivatedmindset.com/gift. When you sign up, you'll receive instant access to an inner peace kit and the 30 Days of Wisdom program, both of which is intended to help you feel deliciously motivated right away. Go to deliciously-motivated-mindset.com/gift.
Perfect. I'm going to add another one here.
Oh,
don't know
what?
if-
Another point or another
No,
quote?
yeah, another tip, another tip, not a quote from, you can take this quote from me or not. What the thing I'm going to say is the word why.
Here, see, this is another one that comes up oftentimes in our
Yes,
conversations, right?
When you get on the why train, when you get on
Oh,
that why train,
that's a destiny of chaos.
that's a beyond that. Why me? Why not someone else? Why now? I'm just starting to feel love for myself. Why now? Why not anyone else? What? Can't even think of all the whys. There's like, I can probably think of 100 whys. Why? So when you
But
get
even
that,
why did I do that, or why didn't I do that?
yeah, there's another, yeah.
Yeah.
Why did I do that? I should have known better. Oh my
Yeah.
God. So just so you know, we all have that why. I have that why. I had a why come up yesterday. I heard myself going, why did that happen again? And then I went, oh. I literally pulled my whole head back like, oh, where did that come from? That's that tell yourself the truth. Oh, I said that. So don't think that I'm holier than thou. Probably, if you've ever listened to this podcast before, you will have known I'm not holier than thou, by the way. And no one is, not even Moira.
Nope, definitely not.
But the why, when you get on that why train, that train is going to be a derailing. So my thing is, the moment you get that why, what's the gift? What's the blessing here? What's the appreciation? As soon as you even just go, why did I say that to myself again? Okay, what's the gift in this?
Yeah, what's the learning? What's the wisdom? Yeah.
If you can write five, I'll put my hand up for five. If you can, if you can write 5 gifts from that event that's happened, why me, or why did I say that? If you can write 5 gifts, 5 gratitudes, 5 appreciations, I guarantee that will take you close to the 0.
Yep.
Just from even 5 like that. I'm not saying do 500. Well, you can if you want, but just 5 will shift you closer to that 0 for that Zen. Just it can be that quick and that easy. The moment you hear that word why, and I feel like I'm reprogramming, getting you to undo what you know, because we've been asked, I was brought up to ask questions. Why is this happening? Why isn't a question? Because the trust that we have is that answer's going to come out. Why did you say it again? It's going to come out when you figure out your gifts or blessing. It just unfolds anyway. And that's that trust. And the jigsaw on the floor is not that important. That's
Yes,
truthful.
exactly. But you see, and I agree with you. I think that being brought up to ask questions is very important. But ask what questions? Not why questions. Because I always, and I've said this before on past episodes, is I believe that when we start asking why, that's actually like a negative spiral down, because you will never be satisfied with the answer. Because if it's like, why did I forget that? Well, because you're forgetful, you're a schmuck, you're a this, you're a that. Well, why am I that? And why didn't I do this? And why didn't they do that? You're never going to get, oh, okay, that's the answer is resolved. Whereas if you can say, what was the gift? Oh, it was that I got to do this instead, or this other opportunity showed up, or this, you see, there's just feel, and I really encourage people to feel it in their own body.
Shoulders go back.
Yeah.
You literally are like, oh, yeah.
Yeah. And you will have an answer that you kind of go, okay, yep, all right. Don't need to keep asking questions because I got it.
Yeah.
Right?
Totally, 100%. The why is just an endless dramatic question. And if you ask somebody, why did you treat me like that, or why did you do that, they will answer their way. So depending on their PEMS, if they've eaten, if they've slept, if you keep nagging them, if you like, and their answer is going to be whatever's in their mind due to their PEMS. They're going to answer differently if they're an 8 than if they're a 1 or a 0. So don't even bother going to people, why did you do this? Why? Just, why did you do this again? No, go back to what's the gift, what's the blessing, what's the appreciation.
Absolutely, because don't you find that with what asking somebody why did you do this or why didn't you do that, you immediately put that person into defensive mode, because before they even have something come out their mouth, they're already saying, well, I screwed up, I did something wrong.
Yeah, they don't need you to be telling them why do they do that. Do you not think, like my mentor John DeMartini, Dr. John DeMartini, he says, I would rather have the whole world against me than my soul.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, oh yeah, you're right, because your soul is living with you 24/7 and it's constantly telling you. So I'd rather have the whole world against me where I know my purpose is and what I'm doing than myself going questioning, why are you doing that, Deborah? Why did you do that again? Why are you doing it this way? Why have you not learned? Why? So I love that. I'd rather have the whole world against me than my own soul. So when you get that why, it's as quick as that. I think tips to inspire calmness and chaos, it doesn't have to take long.
No.
Calm your farm.
And so here's another one that we often bring into these conversations is inspiring calmness in chaos is because you're worthy of feeling calmness, feeling aligned with your heart energy, with your soul's guidance, if you like. But that in itself can maybe be enough to pause the crazy making thinking or the listening to the why, whether it's coming from you or somebody else, right? It's like, no, I am worthy of harmony and caring and love and feeling in alignment and things of that nature. So that in itself will kind of help you put your shoulders back, maybe sit a little straighter, feel yourself grounded. Something else that's actually very, very important tip is if chaos is starting to pull you onto a crazy train, thinking of the worst case scenarios and oh my God,
Because I'm
it's
like,
a
yep.
signal to get grounded. Get
Perfect.
grounded.
The moment you start seeing that wobble, the moment pivot right back.
Stamp your feet on the floor.
Yeah.
I used to do that. That would be if I step my feet on the floor, that's me plugging back into Mother Earth and I'm standing right here.
See,
It's
look
really
how
quick.
And that's the stuff. I mean, that's the stuff that you can do. Now, I'm a firm believer of when the chaos hits, if you're in a public place, like if you can stamp your feet on the floor and that's fine. But people might start questioning you or anything. But like there's tips that you can do that can take you straight back to
Hand on your heart is one of them.
And my hand went straight to my heart. Hand on heart is the moment something happens to me and I'm getting chaotic, hand on heart, and I go, I live here. And then I go, and then I breathe, and then I go, what's the gift? What's the blessing? What's the gratitude? And I can just find 2 or 3 things. And this is a 30-second process for me. Can be anything from 10 seconds, 30 seconds to start. And it just shifts you. Stomping your feet, I know Tony Robbins talks about changing your energy and your state. I'm not one to jump off the chair and punch the air.
No, that's not for me either.
It's not for me. And knowing my luck, I'll probably push the chair back and knock something over. And I can just see more chaos with that. But find what works for you. Find what works for you. Like we've got some great tips here. Find what works for you and do it. And do it.
I want to add a little nuance to the hand on heart idea.
Ooh,
Something
okay,
that just came to me as you were saying that. And I've said this before on previous conversations that the heart, some people reference the heart area as the seat of the soul. This is where the soul connects and animates the physical form. So if you think about your heart space as the seat of the soul, you receive your spiritual guidance through your left hand. So how about putting your left hand over your heart to really get the intel, the guidance, the soothing, the calming from your higher self, from your soul's mission, wisdom. Whereas because the right hand that's the intellect. That's coming from the intellect.
Oh, I don't know what I was actually going, but Moira, your right hand's on your
Oh, it's
heart
because
now.
this is my left hand.
Yeah, and then I was like, but your right hand's there. I'm looking at Moira, and then I'm like, oh, it's a camera. It's
It's
the
a
way
camera.
she
Yes.
I don't know what hand I do. I'm going to look at that. I didn't know that. Well, that
So it's been something that I've been playing with of late myself, because to calm your nervous system and your chattering mind, I want to bring in more softness, more spiritual wisdom. So I've been really sort of focusing on using it and saying, okay, I'm bringing it in from the left.
yeah.
So just a new wee nuance to the hand on heart idea.
I wonder if there's something also in there with NLP as well. Somebody will work in, I don't know NLP. I just know there's something with hand movements, bringing in and stuff like that. Wow, I didn't even know that. Hadn't even thought about the left hand and right hand. Hadn't even thought about that. I love that.
Wow, they are
Hand on heart,
inspiring calmness.
yeah, hand on heart is just, oh, there you go. Just then it's my left hand.
There you go.
Watching. It just allows me to go, oh.
Yeah.
So sometimes you can't find a gift or a blessing because your head's so chaotic or
Yeah.
whatever it was.
Yeah.
You know, when I had that car accident a few months ago, I don't know, it was probably 6 months ago. When I had that,
Yeah,
I
it was a while
literally,
ago.
I had that accident and my hand went straight onto my heart. When after it happened, I went, oh, I live here. Ooh.
Yeah.
And I wasn't even thinking instantly of the benefits. I didn't go, what's the benefits to me of being smacked and
Right.
two cars
Right.
behind me, this, and I've blocked the motorway and, fire trucks are coming. Like, I didn't even think about that. But hand on heart was just
That was your
instant.
go-to. That's beautiful. Beautiful.
Yeah, that took me through zero, closer to the zero.
Beautiful. Inspiring calmness in chaos. That was certainly a chaotic experience.
Good old hand on heart.
I am aware of the time. Dear listeners, if you hadn't already got your note-taking implements and devices, we encourage you to do so, because we do need to stay mindful of time and send you off into your calm state. We're going to summarize the tips that we went through. So why don't you kick us off here, Deb? What was the first tip?
Tribe. No, was mine. Tribe. But I love how Moira said, know your people. And you will have the people who you can go to and you can moan about other people about, who are going to pull you into line. You can go to people who are going to allow you to offload about certain things. You can go to people who, about business knowledge, about financial knowledge, you can go. So, instead of having the one, you can have the many. Like, there's a lot of people, but know your people.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
but also I'm going to add, know what support you want from
Yeah,
them.
that's very important.
So you may not know what support you want, and I'm just going to say I have a thing: seen, heard, and acknowledged. So maybe you just want to be seen, heard, and acknowledged. I think we all want that. So know your people. Go, you know what? I'm just going to message Moira because she can see me, hear me, and acknowledge me. That's all I want right now. She doesn't want to find a solution, and so know.
So just hear me. Yeah.
And know what role they want. But you've got to get clear on that role, because if you say to someone, I've got this problem, blah, 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 and they go, let's find solution. You're like, I just want to sit and cry for 3 days. Okay. They're not going to jump into one solution. So know what you want out of it as well. That was a long-winded one.
Which is, but saying that part actually leads beautifully to the next tip. Because what I have here is to be aware of what you're asking for, because it does show up. And so that's why it's so important to be clear. If you want a solution, then be clear on, I would like a solution to this. But if you just want somebody to hold space or be a shoulder to cry on, then also be clear with that, because that's what you get. So it's really important to always be aware of the power that you have creating everything that you experience, right?
And Moira had a little tip on the side of that. And so when you say these things, she goes,
yeah, cancel.
Yeah, cancel. And I don't even usually get the third cancel out. I get giggly after that. But if you say those things, say cancel, cancel, because it just changes your changes your state, changes your energy, and cancels that wording that you've said with a little bit of humor.
Yeah.
Which always changes the state.
Yeah.
In my
Me too. I think we should laugh more.
Oh, you've talked about babies. I got onto a thing recently. Who knows? But I got into a thing and I was watching babies on YouTube laughing.
Babies laughing.
Moira put me onto that last year, and it's so funny.
It
Even if you
is.
don't like babies, just hearing them, yeah, that's it. So yeah, yep. The next tip I've got is I'm in the right place at the right time.
Mhm.
And we also had, and just remind yourself, and we had the hand on heart there.
Yes, we
And
did.
I love that we talked about it's all in the right order.
Yeah,
Things are flowing through me, not,
not to me.
not knocking me off the wall, but
Mm-hmm.
it is that, and it is a mindset. Just I'm in the right place at the right time, and knowing that even if you just say that I'm in the right place at the right time with a hand on the heart, your body will hear that, even if you don't believe it. I'm in the right place at the right time. I'm in the right place at the right time. Whatever it is, you're in the right place at the right time, because we are all in the right place at the right time. But we have little things that come in our way that pull us back to what's important.
Yep, absolutely. So following on from that is because that is a form of trust, knowing that you're in the right place at the right time. So because but we put that as a tip of its own, is that to me, trust is such an important piece because it comes from the place of a problem or an issue does not exist without the solution, without the resolution being in existence. Also, doesn't necessarily mean it's landed on your lap or you've actually become aware of it. However, you do recognize those things as they show up. So trusting is, even though I can't see the outcome or I can't see the best way forward or I can't see the solution right now, I know it's there and I trust that I will recognize it when it shows up. And then what can I do? Don't be getting into the I can't do this and I can't do that, I can't do this, because that's going to create more chaos. We're going towards more calmness. And so saying, okay, don't have the resolution here right now. That's okay. What can I do?
Where did you talk about the jigsaw? Because that's that whole thing as well.
I don't know that I did that in this one.
No, it wasn't
That's
there. I think it was but
yeah.
Jigsaw, people are like, what jigsaw? But I love that because it's trust. It's like I can walk away.
Yeah.
We'll bring it in. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. The next tip I have here is pivot,
Mm-hmm.
which my beautiful Moira said adaptability. And I
Yeah.
quite like adaptability. That sounds nicer than pivot. Actually, wasn't there a thing on Friends when they had to do they had to move the couch? That was pivot. I'm going to find that.
Oh,
pivot
really?
thing. Yeah, they were
I
moving a
could
couch
see that
up in the-
would be what they did. Pivot.
But just know that every day is different and nothing's in concrete. We are not the PEMS number that you did at the start. You're not going to stay like that forever. You're not going to be you're not going to be that same person that you were yesterday. You can't be the same person you were yesterday. You've got different insights. It all
Absolutely.
depends on your business as well. So just know that adaptability happens and nothing is in concrete. You control you. You're the captain of your own ship.
You're the boss of you. And that's the other piece that I just thought of when you were saying this, is that it's so important to not get stuck in our head of thinking, well, I'm always like this. Because you're not. And so just for right now, you are maybe, but that we all shift and change and energy flows and attention goes where energy flows and vice versa, right? So it's about really getting into that flow and enjoying it as opposed to getting stuck in your head and like, oh, I'm stuck here. Because you're not. So choose a different verbiage around that. The tip that I had here was to take one step at a time. This is talking about the pivot and the adaptability, to understand that, let's say you check in with yourself and you do have something chaotic or some problem going. Ask for help. Take one step, write it down. Even if you just wrote it down, I'm going to ask for help or I'm going to book a session. That starts shifting it right there. It starts to shift. And the other piece around this is that you're telling yourself that you matter. When I say to myself, I matter, it means I matter and I am worthy of taking steps to get out of a chaotic situation, right?
And even just saying I matter.
Yeah.
Bring back to just I matter. I matter. I matter.
Yeah.
But even saying that, even if you don't believe it, you still say it.
There's
Still
still a
say it.
part of you that does. You just need to feed that part.
You're just sitting beyond the 10.
Yes.
I love it. Moira did a great one. And I love this because she said, tell yourself the truth.
Mhm.
And I love that because, well, anything you hide from gets uncovered
Yes, that
at the most inconvenient time often. But tell yourself the truth. Acknowledge what that emotional state is you need.
mhm.
And that's where we did a couple of quotes. The one I had was, until you change your thinking, you will always recycle your experiences.
Yeah, I really like that one.
Yeah, and Moira had, what was your one?
It was, you can spend minutes, hours, days, weeks, or even months over analyzing a situation, trying to put the pieces together, justifying what could have or would have happened. Or you can just leave the pieces on the floor and move on.
Oh, that's the jigsaw one.
That's, I realized that afterwards, like, yeah, just the pieces are all on the floor. That's it.
I love that. And it's just literally tell yourself the truth. Today I have no bandwidth.
Yeah.
That's it. I have no bandwidth to do this anymore.
Yep.
And even I have no bandwidth. We had a prime minister in New Zealand. We call him a prime minister, whereas in your country you call
No,
them.
we do here in Canada, it's a prime minister too. Yes.
Why have we not got the same all around the world? It'd be so much
I
easier
don't
for
know.
me.
It's president in the US.
Yeah. So it's different. But our prime minister in New Zealand, she actually, when she stepped aside, she said, I have no more bandwidth for it.
Right.
So that's it. When someone says that, it's literally the end of the conversation. You can't
Yeah.
go,
There's why, or what, maybe you
yeah,
should do
why?
this,
What's
or
going
what
on?
about that? Or
It's literally the mic drop. I have
Yeah.
no bandwidth. And
Yeah.
I love the way she ended that. Like I didn't need a reason for her. When someone says that to me, I don't need to go.
No, you
"Well,
respect it. You do.
that's exactly it. So we talk about tell yourself the truth. Respect that. I have no bandwidth today.
Mhm.
Right now, I have no bandwidth. Like tell yourself the truth, because
And know that even doing that doesn't mean it's permanent. You're not holding on to it. You're just telling yourself the truth right now. This is what's going on.
perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect. Yeah. I love
And
it.
then from that, we were saying about, I don't have any bandwidth. Don't ask why. Because this next one is why. See, asking why, whether you're asking yourself why or asking other people why, it gets into defensiveness and reaction and just chaos.
We call it crazy making.
Thinking. Yeah.
That's I think of that. Every time I hear that why, I go, Moira's voice goes crazy making thinking.
Yeah. But we really encourage you to see, can you shift any why questions into what? Not why is this happening? It's what can be learned here? What's the gift? What can I appreciate about this moment?
Yeah.
Right?
And it's quick. It's quick.
It is.
For 6 months to shift my energy. No.
Nope. Could be done on a turn on a dime. There you go. Just click your fingers and turn on a dime.
I love that. I love that. The next one I have down here is you are worthy of this. And I think, earlier we talked about, even if you don't believe it, just say it.
Yeah.
Reminding yourself, we all know we've got it deep down, but sometimes we're just like, oh, I'm not worthy of that, or I'm not worthy of that, or oh, that's not for me. I couldn't take that, or I couldn't accept that, or why are they giving it to me? There we are on that crazy. But reminding yourself that you are worthy of this. And, even back to the hand on heart again, you're worthy of this.
Yeah.
Why can't you be worthy of this? No matter what Dr. John DeMartini, no matter what I've done or not done, I'm worthy of love.
Absolutely. 100%.
And just even saying, no matter what I've done or not done, I'm worthy of love.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's like that.
That's a definite truth.
Yeah.
Definite truth. The last tip I have, I don't know if you've got more, but the last tip I have here is to get grounded. And that's when I was talking about stamp your feet. And we did talk about putting your hand on your heart. And that's when I brought in a suggestion of doing your left hand, which is allowing you to get that soul connection. If you think of the heart as the seat of your soul, but you're allowing yourself to get more of that spiritually guided acknowledgement. That in itself is very calming to me. And so then just really feeling into that, because of course the right side is where all the thinking and the crazy making thinking is going to come in.
Convincing yourself.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's all I had. Did you have any other tips?
No,
Did I
that's
miss
it.
any? Okay. I thought that we had recapped them all. So tips to inspire calmness in chaos. Dear listeners, we trust that you got some nuggets and some ideas to help you be inspired to create more calmness and to really steep yourself in that beautiful blanket of calmness. That is our intention here. So your next step, if you enjoyed this conversation, your next step is to continue this conversation. What techniques and ideas inspire calmness for you? We would love to hear from you. And then, so that was part one of your next step. But we would also love to hear from you. What number were you at the beginning? And what number are you now? Because as we've said, our intent for these conversations is to meet you wherever you are and then gently, kindly, lovingly, calming, bring you down closer to that 0. So let us know, and let us know if you are in a place of chaos and you need to get support. Reach out to us together on Facebook and our Facebook group, or you can reach out to us individually. We are here and we unpack these types of things all the time. That's our passion. That's what we do. So like I said, we're checking in on our PEMs, our physical, emotional, mental, spiritual. I was at a 3 at the beginning and Deb was at a 2. Deb, where are you now?
I'm going to say I'm a 0, but I will say after today, I've added a lot on my other list of social media stuff and things I'd like to get done to get out there and do. So some of these tips, I'm like, oh yes, and there's that blog post that I wrote about that. So as much as I say I'm a 0, there's a level of probably a few hours work at least on that, but I'm still a 0 because it's an inspired 0. It's not it's like, oh, it's
Nice.
like that. Which I haven't felt an inspired 0. I've been more like, yeah, I feel very neutral, but it just feels like a different 0 today.
Nice. I like that.
Yeah.
Calm but energized at the same time. And I think I'd probably say that about me too. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling calm. There are things that I know I would like to do, but I'm feeling very calm and inspired at the same time. So yeah.
I feel today's a different 0. Like I
Yeah,
haven't felt that before. To me, it feels different. Definitely.
Yeah. I agree. So listeners, we'd love to hear how it felt for you.
And no pressure.
No pressure. Just would love to though.
Yeah,
so that is Debz and Moira signing off for another one of our deliciously motivated mindset conversations. We will be back with you again next time. Thank you, listeners. Thank you, dear Deb.
Thank you.
Thanks. See you next time. Bye.